Can you go to our channel and see if it's live?
Yep.
Oh.
We got sound, except this is the wrong one. I'm going to comment in the other one. Can you send me the link?
Yay, Built Over Bot is back and he can hear us.
Oh, thank God.
Not sure what happened there.
Yay! We're really, really sorry about that. Hopefully some people show up. Yeah, we pasted the new link in our in the previous video, so hopefully, yeah, some people show up. Okay, cool. Awesome. So why don't we start by I guess thanking everyone for finding us on social media. This is our first giveaway on social media, so that's super exciting. Nick and I never thought that we would have 1,000 followers. That's 1,000 more than we were expecting. And yeah, Nick, I've been working on nLab for 3 years. Nick has been working on this for 10 years?
Yeah, quite some time.
Yeah. So why don't you talk a little bit about how you came up with the idea and the impact it had on students and teachers and how people kind of organically found you?
Sure. So my name is Nick and my day job is I'm a professor of mechanical engineering, but I tend to teach mostly electronics and programming. And when I started that position, the idea was to get students to build more hands-on, which meant give everyone a lab kit that they could carry around with them. And that meant that they were building all the time. Every single class had a homework where you had to build something and demonstrate that it worked. And when you got out of a class, you were just so confident that you knew how to design and build things. And then when you got a job, it was very obvious that you knew what you're doing. So people were coming back to us and saying that this really works. And people were also taking it with them to graduate school, and other schools got excited about it. And so it just became a thing that was really popular. But that was really only meant for educational purposes in a university setting. And when Angie saw this, she was like, this could be so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. So I dreamed of becoming a Disney Imagineer since I was 6 years old. And yeah, pretty much as soon as I went to Disney World and saw that was the animatronics were technology being used to tell a story, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want to do. So fast forward to college, and I'm sitting in an electronics class. I'm the only girl in the room, but we're all crowded around one lab machine. And I remember we had to all line up single file to use these machines. And we only got it for 30 seconds at a time because the machines were so expensive, and not to mention very bulky and intimidating because there were 1,000 buttons and I had no idea what to press. So what I like to say is I graduated with an A+ in circuits, but I never built a single one.
Yeah.
Which hurt me when I went into the working world. So I came back to school to get my master's in engineering. I came back to school with a vengeance. And that's where I encountered Nick's invention, the nLab. And full circle moment, I created a tech portfolio of circuits that I built with the nLab, and it got the attention of Disney. And that's how I landed my dream job. I became not only an Imagineer, but I worked on the Star Wars ride at Disney. My desk was on the Millennium Falcon ride, and I'm a big Star Wars fan, so it was an absolute dream come true, unforgettable experience, and it was all because of the nLab. But it wasn't until a few years later that I realized the impact that nLab had on my life, and it took someone walking by my desk. I had an established career in the robotics industry at this point, and someone just said, oh, what's that on your desk? And it was an nLab, a relic from a bygone era. And I said, oh, that's a little tool I used in grad school that helped me finally learn electronics. And no pun intended, I had a light bulb moment. And I was like, oh my God, this is not the job I should be doing. Like, I should be helping, bring nLab to more people so they can be helped just like me. So I quit my job 2 weeks later. Like, there was no ambiguity. I decided to go back to business school. But go back to school and get a business degree because I knew nothing about business. Nick knew nothing about business. So, and you were already a professor. And I was like, well, I quit my job, so I might as well go back to school for a third time. Pretty irresponsible, but it's paying off. Like, we're learning a ton. Some from business school, but most from like just experimenting.
Oh yeah.
Case in point, on social media, like we suck at social media. So thank you all for dealing with our content. We're doing our best. But yeah, why don't we show them a little bit about the kit?
Yeah. So the point of this stream is to give away a kit, and so why don't we show you
and talk about our Kickstarter. So we're launching on Kickstarter in March, and one of the questions we got from someone on social media is like, are you going to go for VC money? Like, you shouldn't do that. And we want to say loud and clear, like, we don't want VC money. We want to be beholden to our community only, which is you. Like, we want to design a product. Well, we want to design the product we want, but also more importantly, the product that you want. So it's really important that we stay in touch with you and make sure that we're delivering something that you guys really need. So in order to do that, we're really trying not to take VC money. It's kind of dirty. So yeah, that's why we're doing the Kickstarter. And this is the kit.
So the idea is you should be able to carry it around with you anywhere. All you need is your laptop. And so in this nifty little bag, which we will get branded, we will get to see, what kind of stuff comes inside. Okay, so this is a little bag, and when you open it up, you'll see it comes with the nLab and a breadboard. It comes with a pair of wire cutters and strippers and wire so that you can make wire. And then it comes with little baggies of parts. So we get capacitors, we get what I call the optical bag, so it's LEDs and photo sensors. And then we get a bunch of resistors, and we get buttons and transistors, potentiometers, a microphone, a speaker, and diodes, and then a piece of foam with chips, 5x5 timer, and operational amplifiers and things like that. So this is the amount of parts you would need to do an entire coursework of Introduction to Electronics. With all of these parts, you could do dozens of projects. You can think of them like Legos, right? You can take the resistors out and build a project with them. And then when you're done, you just put them back in the baggie and
create something entirely new.
Yeah. And the breadboard is your space to build those projects. So this is your prototyping area where you build your circuits. And what we provide is the unique part is nLab, which is a bunch of tools in one.
The world's smallest electronics lab. And what we mean by that is an electronics lab usually comprises 3 machines. It's an oscilloscope, a function generator, and a power supply. So the way I like to say it is an oscilloscope lets you make the invisible visible. It lets you see inside your circuits, which is so great for debugging and troubleshooting, right? Because there's nothing worse than building a circuit blindly and like something goes wrong and you can't even like know what it is. Like instead of spending hours and hours speculating, like you can with the nLab, you can see it away. The nLab is also a power supply, and it's also a function generator, so it outputs signals to your circuit so that you can experiment that way. And like, yeah, it's a 3-in-1 tool. It combines, I like to say, 3 toaster oven sized machines in one.
Right. Yeah, traditionally you go to a lab bench like this size bench and the 3 big boxes, and we've managed to miniaturize it all into just little shape. So here's a demo. This is one of the many projects you could build with this, and we asked a lot of people, what kind of projects do you want to see? What would be interesting and fun to build and inspire you to want to build more? So we call this the 5x5 piano. So this is a chip that with different resistor and capacitor combinations can play different tones. Not always the prettiest one, but it is a good demonstration of how to build circuits and how to get interactivity and things like that. And then at the same time, we can also take a look at the app. So the computer app that pairs with nLab shows you what your circuit is doing. So the whole point is to be able to diagnose and see what's happening electrically. So when I push a button, we get a tone, I can actually see the signal going to the speaker. And of course, right now it's just fuzz, but we can go in and we can change the settings so that we see faster. And we could turn on advanced functions like triggering so that it doesn't dance around so much. And if I were to do something like hold the button and move the potentiometer, right, I can hear the tone changing and I could also see it at the same time. And that would help me diagnose exactly what the frequency is and maybe if it wasn't working, why it's not working. So I don't know, that this is like a lot of fun to me. You get to build the circuit, you choose the components to make it sound like certain things.
It's super fun, and we've been getting a lot of requests to build a synth project, and this is actually the basis of building your own synth. Like,
Right.
synths are back,
Mhm.
like the 80s are back.
Yeah.
So like that's been pretty cool.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think the phrase that usually comes out of my mouth when people are like, I want to build this, I say, you can do that with nLab.
Yeah.
And I usually cross-check it with you, but you haven't rejected me yet, and it's really weird.
Well, the goal is to teach, really. So we're providing the hardware because it's very difficult to like source all those parts, especially when you're a beginner. But we're also going to be providing the educational environment. So videos where Angie and I teach you how to design and build electronics on YouTube, and then we also have lots of fun shorts and TikToks and Instagram posts and things like that with more content. But the idea would be we're going to give that away and hope that you learn from it. And then when you see us using the nLab, you want to use that too, and that would help us out.
Totally, totally. What is next? Oh, should we announce the winner of this fabulous kit?
Yeah, we had lots of entries, which is very exciting.
Oh my gosh, thousands, you guys.
Mhm.
Like, so, but if you don't win this time, no worries at all. You will be I was gonna be like, you will be chosen in the next one.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that, but we're gonna try to do one of these every 2 weeks because the point is like nLab already exists as a product. It's very tried and true. We've been used at many universities. We've sold 5,000 of these so far. The reason we're doing a Kickstarter is because this is the first time we're doing the full kit and the first time we're doing direct to consumer, which is you guys, instead of selling to universities in kind of a textbook model.
Right.
So yeah, and our videos are very high quality. I don't know if you've checked them out, our tutorials, but yeah, they cost money to make. So that's the other reason for the Kickstarter, is just so we can continue to pump out quality content for you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is time to reveal the winner.
Okay. You give me a drum.
Yeah. So wait, hold on. So we did do our due diligence here. We took the list of those who had followed us on Instagram and TikTok, and we took the list of those who had commented giveaway, and we mushed them together and said, what is the Venn diagram between the two? And then we asked Gemini to randomly select somebody. So in case you're wondering, was this random? It was. Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Dun, 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 dun. Let me do that. Yay!
Ninja Dad
Ninja
007.
Yeah.
You are the winner.
Is that an Instagram handle? So
yeah,
okay.
That's Instagram.
That's an Instagram person. Yeah, congratulations. We will be in contact with you to ask how we can get it to you.
Yeah.
And hopefully, when you get it and try it out, you can help us out, give some comments, because we want to know, is this the right set of parts?
I mean, I don't know how social media works, but yeah, like if you guys like could, whoever the winner is, like just share a quick story or reel about your experience with it, like we would really appreciate it. We need all the feedback we can get to improve in the next couple of months before we launch this to the world. So yeah, congrats, Ninja Dad 007. We hope you like it. We're gonna get this in the mail to you right away.
Yeah. And for everyone else, like Angie said, we'll do this again in 2 weeks. So keep an eye on our Instagram and TikTok.
Yep.
And then we'll just keep doing this until it's like ready for yeah. But watch out, or we'll have more tutorials and fun projects on YouTube, and we have lots of fun shorts and stories on Instagram and TikTok, and we'll be experimenting more with going live on a bunch of different platforms.
Yeah. So okay, people are saying congrats if you are here, Ninja Dad 007. Someone's asking, will there be a giveaway for people that don't have TikTok or Instagram? Yes. We know that there's also an email list. We're doing a separate giveaway for that probably next week.
Okay.
So every exactly.
Yeah, if you go to getnlab.com, that's our website, and you can see more information about our videos and the specs, and join our email list.
Yeah.
And
we're trying to keep the social media and the email list like kind of separate.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to track who's on who.
Exactly. So yeah, great question. Hang in there. Looks like you're still hoping for a free one. Foxionaire. Yes. Congrats to the winner. Please, we should stop the confetti.
Oh.
That's obnoxious. I'm surprised people are still here.
There we go.
We can open it up to questions. Are there any questions that you guys have about the kit, about us? We'll tell you all our deepest, darkest secrets. No, we won't. We won't do that, right?
No. Yeah.
Okay. We'll just kind of chill here and see if there are any questions.
I
sadly cannot justify this as I have the individual tools, but this could be a game changer for new people. I completely agree. And that doesn't offend us in the least. Like, we understand like that most engineers already have, a really great setup at home of, oscilloscope, function generator, etc. I will say though, like, in addition to it being a great on-ramp for beginners, we have had professional engineers come to us and be like, this was actually surprisingly, powerful out in the field for me.
Right.
People use it to troubleshoot beyond prototyping on the breadboard. They'll use it to troubleshoot out in the field. But yeah, like, not trying to sell you, like, we totally get it. But
our goal is also to get it into the hands of as many kids as possible. And so one of our Kickstarter pledges will be probably something like, a 10-pack, and people who don't necessarily want to build it themselves might want to buy that and give it to a school. And so that's something you look out for.
Totally. Yeah. And I should clarify, because you said kids, as many kids as possible. Like, this is kind of a grown-up product.
So I as a college professor, everyone I teach is a kid, even though some of them are like in their mid-20s.
This is something we do all the time, where I'm like, Nick, this is not for kids. It's not a toy. And he's like, I mean adult children.
Yes.
Yeah. He calls his students kids, even though they're like 19 or 20, right?
Yeah, I mean, the PhD students are even older. So.
There you go. Yeah. We're aging ourselves. Let me see. Are you going to shows?
So we try to go to as many maker fairs as we can. We really love the make community. So look for us at maybe the larger maker fairs.
Yeah.
If you're in the Midwest, we'll do like some Midwest ones too.
We also go to FIRST robotics competitions. Like, sometimes we'll have a booth there. But yeah, like, if you have a recommendation for a show that we should go to, please let us know. Like, Nick and I love shows. I'm like, I'm a robotics engineer, but I worked in sales for a few years. Great experience. I think everyone should work in sales at some point. But what was that?
Yeah.
I think it's a great skill. I went to a bunch of shows. I really liked it. And it's cool as a CEO to be getting back into that world again. So yeah. Would you offer a discount for people to take it to Maker Faire? We actually did. We offered a discount on nLab when we went to Maker Faire.
Yep.
Last time.
Yeah.
I think that was your question. You said if we take it to Maker Faire. I'm not sure what that. If I was not investing in my makerspace, I would be buying it. Ooh. We can be part of that makerspace. No. We are your makerspace. No. If I had the spare money, I would be a customer right now. I feel you. The economy sucks right now. Like, yeah. and we don't blame you at all for saying that. We are all about accessibility. If we could get feedback on like what price point would be, would open up the opportunity for more people to enter this space, because Nick and I, like, we're not really in this business to make money. I know everyone says that and they lie, but like, this is something that's near and dear to our heart. And we also know how important it is, because there's a worldwide shortage of electronics engineers and technicians. This is worldwide, in China, India, it's everywhere. And what we believe is anyone can learn these skills.
Yeah.
So we're just trying to like create an on-ramp for them that's cheaper than spending $1,000 on equipment,
Right.
that's cheaper than getting a $100,000 degree. Usually when we put it in that perspective, people are like, oh, 159 isn't too bad. But yeah, we just want to make sure our value is getting across.
Mhm. How would you suggest to someone who wants to go into engineering but isn't in an engineering degree program yet? Great question. Um, so I want the lab that I run, we call the mechatronics design lab. We'll get a lot of non-engineers as well. So we get people in the sciences and in the arts who are trying to build things. And I even like to do little art projects too sometimes. We have our own local community has this thing called lights after dark, and so it's like build some like kinematic light sculpture things. And electronics is just a really fun way to get into that because it's make an interactive piece of art, use some sensors and use some like motors and sound making things and lights. And that will, I think, bring you into the world of engineering and even the world of design, which you could think of as hand in hand. So the skills that we try to teach are usually a little bit of engineering, but a lot of design. Just think like an engineer, think like designer, and focus on like human-centered design. So how is a person, going to interact with your device? Where should you put the buttons? How should it feel?
Where's it
feel?
going to light up? Like, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we should emphasize with this. It's not just about learning engineering. We're learning product design. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're learning how to create delightful products or anxiety-inducing products, whatever product you're
Yeah.
you're trying to make. I'm making a joke because I took a class at Northwestern that was called Designing Product Interactions, and we're assigned an emotion, and you design a box that invokes that emotion when you open the box. And I was assigned anxiety, and I modeled mine off the tunnel in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom,
Mm-hmm.
the tunnel of centipedes.
Very,
very anxiety inducing. Yeah. Anyway, let me see. I have prior knowledge about Arduino. How does your device differ from Arduino? Yes, this is a great question. So we are not Arduino. We're a different product. In fact, we are a companion product to Arduino. There's quite a few projects on our YouTube channel that show how nLab interacts with Arduino. But the way I like to put it is Arduino teaches you programming with a dash of electronics. We teach mostly electronics with a dash of coding. So put us together and you become the ultimate systems engineer. And the other key difference is that we're a troubleshooting tool. With Arduino, you cannot see inside your circuits as to what's going on, and you can't really effectively debug. So that's what I mean by companion product. Like you can build with Arduino, but if something goes wrong, you can use the nLab to look inside. Did I cover all the I'm sure there's lots more.
Yeah, but you can think of an Arduino as maybe a standalone, dedicated in a project device. The nLab is always going to be something where you build and test on it, and then maybe it becomes standalone on its own and it doesn't need the nLab anymore.
Yeah.
Whereas you might have an Arduino and be like, this Arduino lives in that project forever now.
Right.
And the focus there is definitely on the programming aspect, but the problem with an Arduino might be you build a circuit and you interface it to your Arduino in code. And if it doesn't work, you have to figure out, well, was it my circuit that didn't work or was it my code that didn't work?
Yeah.
And it can be difficult to debug the circuitry aspect because it just doesn't have the built-in tool for that. The nLab would help you sneak into that circuit, see, when I push the button, does the voltage change? So now I know my button works, but maybe my code didn't work or vice versa. So this is something that, we have side by side in our electronics classes now is like, if you're programming the microcontroller, you probably have one of these devices next to you to help out.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a comment saying they're offering the ability to build without Arduino. Yeah, you like all the projects. First of all 12 projects come in your kit, 200 components. You assemble them like Legos, and you can build 12 projects. But yeah, you don't need anything else. That's what we're trying to do is like have an all-inclusive solution, because so many times when I was an engineer, I would buy something and I would think I had all the parts, and then, something would sneak up, and then I have to wait like a week or two for the other parts to arrive. And before I knew it, I forgot all about that project.
Yep.
But that's why we wanted to just put everything in one place, the YouTube videos, the components, everything. So you're like, what I meant by nLab as a companion product to Arduino, I didn't mean like it doesn't work without Arduino. It's total standalone product that you can build a bunch of stuff on, but it does work with Arduino too.
And the focus being more analog electronics. whereas you might think of an Arduino or Raspberry Pi as like digital electronics. So we're trying to bring back that analog nature that's really fun of voltages that change with time and raw sensors and data.
Is nLab compatible with Arduino IDE?
So the nLab itself is not reprogrammable. We have firmware on it that's set up to do data collection, but we have an API, which means that on your computer in Python, you can get the data. So all of the data that you see coming into the app, you can get directly into a Python program that you write, and then you can do interfacing in that way. So the same way you would maybe write code on an Arduino to sample data and send it to your computer, we've made it very easy to do that with nLab.
Yeah, absolutely. Will the videos demoing that troubleshooting do? Yeah. It's funny because we sent out a survey to those who had placed a pre-order. By the way, if you guys haven't already, place a $1 reservation so you can lock in that 20% discount, and then you'll get on a special list where we do behind the scenes and stuff. But yeah, all of our tutorials will have troubleshooting woven throughout, all our free tutorials that are available to everyone. We had someone who reached out to us. We showed them our 12 projects that nLab is going to have, and he's like, there's no project on troubleshooting.
Yeah, that's every project.
Every single project will have that featured, like where Nick and I will intentionally or unintentionally screw something up inevitably.
Yeah.
And we'll have to troubleshoot with the nLab in real time.
Yeah, each project has some hard skills, like how do I use an op amp? How do I use a transistor? Things like that.
Exactly.
But each one has the soft skill of, I better draw my design before I start building it. I better build it in stages and test as I go.
Yeah.
And so what we're trying to do is show that there's a process to debugging, and that will make your life so much nicer. And when you get to the more complicated projects, and not only could you take that lesson in debugging for electronics, you could use the same thing in code. You could do the same thing in mechanical engineering. You can apply it to your whole life if you really want to. But it's so nice to do in electronics because the feedback is very instant, right? You build the circuit, you test it, you know that it's not working. As a mechanical engineer, when I learned how to do this, I'd be in the shop and I'd drill holes and cut a piece of metal, and then you'd find out that you drew, it was the wrong size hole, and then it'd be like, I have to start this project over. It took a week to get here. The iteration cycle is very slow.
Right.
And electronics is just so much faster.
And I feel like the learning iteration and design is so important, just like growing that part of your brain for any industry, for anything that you're doing. Just having problem solving skills of like, instead of hitting a wall and being like, I can't move on, like, nLab kind of removes those barriers. I remember when I was a super intimidated budding engineer, and having to troubleshoot with those big machines was really scary. And I would usually just like, resign myself. I'd be like, I guess I'm not going to get a good grade on this assignment because I can't figure this out. But being able to take the circuit home and use my nLab, like I could sit, and go at my own pace and like, not have someone looking over my shoulder. And like, so that was like the other thing I wanted nLab to be about, was like, to find the joy in failure. I still don't know if I like that. If I like that phrase, but I hope you all get what I mean. Like, it's okay to fail. Like, it's part of the learning process.
And you might learn the same skills just learning how to program or code, but it's not fun and tangible like electronics. Like cutting and stripping your own wire, seeing lights blink because you did certain actions. It's just way more fun than just interfacing to your keyboard over and over again.
Absolutely. We've technically done half an hour, not counting our total screw up with the other, but yeah, I'm pleased.
Yeah,
we did it. And in case y'all just came on, we're doing more giveaways. Yeah, and I guess one call to action is our Kickstarter is launching in just a few months, and Nick and I are very excited about the attention we've been getting so far, but we want to bring this to the attention of even more people. So if you guys have suggestions on how we can spread the word, I saw someone said like what they actually meant was, will you pay me to bring nLab to a maker fair? That sounds pretty cool, actually. Let's talk, you and I. But yeah, like that's not something that I ever thought about before. So like, do you guys have ideas for how we can get the word out there? Do you know anyone in the press and media? Do you know maker spaces? Whatever whatever you think would be good. Nick and I, we're engineers. We suck at marketing. Like, please help us. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Drop us a comment, send us a DM if you've got more ideas. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. How do we get out?
This is how every live stream is going to end. It's being like,